Hey, what's good, family? This is Hangin with the Hazers. I am Krazy Keon, and we are back again with my big brother Rob.
What's going on?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you now, we got a spicy one.
Oh yeah.
So, in response to some comments that were made, I decided to make sure that we address this to make sure everybody's safe and doing what they need to do. And I want to talk a little bit today about crossing state lines with concealed carry when you're packing. A lot of people have some misconceptions and put some stuff out there. So I got big brother Rob here. We're going to clarify a couple things, address some things that were said, and give you good information. So with that being said, Rob, how do you feel about people just, willy-nilly tossing the heat in the glove compartment and just taking off without doing a little research?
I think it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you get caught, not New York State, I don't know exactly what New York State law is.
Right.
But if you get caught in New York City, I don't care if you're in the Holland Tunnel and you're going to upstate New York, going into Vermont, going into Rhode Island. If you get pulled over and you get caught with your weapon in that glove box,
Yes, sir.
and it has ammo in it, and everyone knows you transport your gun in a lockbox, and you keep your ammunition away from you.
Yeah.
In another lockbox or safe somewhere. If you get caught, that police officer doesn't care. You automatically get a mandatory 3 years.
3.
You don't need a lawyer. You can get one,
They ain't gonna help.
but you're going to jail.
Yeah.
And so in certain states where you really have to be cognizant of the laws.
Yeah, you're gonna be Bubba's bunkmate.
And you don't want to
guaranteed.
be that.
And that's just kind of what it is. And there's nothing wrong with packing heat while you're trying to roast marshmallows. I mean,
There's nothing.
Because some people are not packing for the reasons that they always say. My only thing is, do not let your weekend trip turn into a courtroom cameo. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and that's why you have to understand, there's some states that don't have reciprocity if you have a non-resident permit.
Yeah.
If you live in, let's say, Connecticut, New Jersey, and you want to have a gun permit, you can go to Virginia because they have non-resident gun license. Florida, Utah does the same thing. You still can't carry in Connecticut or New Jersey or New York, but you can carry in the states
that
recognize non-resident gun permits.
Yeah.
So once you get into Maryland, you still can't carry. Once you get in Virginia, okay, now you can carry. They recognize it. North Carolina, they recognize it. South Carolina, you're going to jail. Why are you going to jail? Because they don't recognize gun permits that are not of your state.
Right.
And Louisiana is the same way. So people think, once I go into the South, I never have to take this gun off my hip. You're a fool to believe that. That's why Google is your best friend. Use it.
Yeah.
Ask questions. And do the right thing so you're not caught out there saying I didn't know, because the judge doesn't care if you didn't know.
Yeah. And we got jokes, y'all. I mean, we got stories, but we bring in the real talk too. So let's dig into this a little bit deeper. And let's talk a little bit about why campers carry. Okay. Now, I think the number one reason that they carry, let's put it out there, is protection.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Like, how do you feel about protecting you, your family, and from what?
Well, as a man, I feel like most men understand this. You want to protect your family. I'm not going out to kill anybody.
Right.
I'm not going to shoot anybody.
Right.
I don't want to shoot you.
Never.
But if something happens, I'm in this RV. I'm from Maryland, and I'm in Texas. I'm in Florida somewhere. I'm far from home, and somebody gets irate, and you have your teenage daughter or infant son or whatever you have, you want to be able to protect them. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, you know, you're out there near the campfire and a bear just happens to put his paw on your shoulder and say, you know, raw.
Hey, yeah, right.
You know,
I don't want more than raw.
I don't want to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to kill a bear.
Yeah.
But don't get it twisted. I have to protect my family.
And I want to protect my family from everything from bears to creepy strangers, raccoons who think that your cooler is their inheritance, whatever the case is. I don't have an issue with that. But here's the rub, okay? The thing that makes you feel safe could also make you feel unsafe legally. So my thing is that the laws change very quickly when you cross state lines. So let's break down some of the funny parts, the dumb parts, and the parts that will mess your life up if you sleep on it and you're not paying attention. So the legal maze, the American gun laws, okay? It's patchwork because you just never know what you're going to get unless you do your homework ahead of time. Right.
Every state is different.
Yeah.
Every state is different.
And unfortunately, I think you can agree that there is no national, this is how you travel. Okay.
No,
there's no, this is how you travel rule when it comes to this. One state smiles at you. All right. And the other state files your mugshot and crucifies you. I think that's just the way it goes. Yeah. So talk about reciprocity and how it works.
Well, reciprocity, you know, if I get a gun permit, there are certain states that say, hey, you have a permit in the state that you live, you may carry in my state.
Right.
Now, reciprocity is, you know, it's large. It's 30 some odd states. They'll let you just, you know, come into their state, carry. But you also have to pay attention because some states are concealed carry states. Some states are open carry states.
Can we clarify one thing while you're talking about that? Okay. Reciprocity is not friendship.
No.
It's a courtesy, okay? And as he said, some states honor the permit and some treat it like a napkin in a windstorm.
Yeah.
So knowing concealed versus open,
you have to know it.
It's not an excuse not to know it. Because again, there is no excuse when you got cold bracelets on you because you were ignorant and didn't do your homework.
Well, if you go into a state that is concealed carry and you walking around, you know, you got your chest poked out.
Yep.
And you know, or listen, your chest isn't poked out. You got out of the car, you got out of the Class A, you got out of whatever you got on, and your shirt is over your gun. I mean, it's on top of your gun. So now you're brandishing. If a police officer or someone sees that, that's brandishing. Right. And you can get locked up for that because it's a concealed carry. Nobody's supposed to know you have the gun on you.
And see, here's the thing. That when this gentleman said this the other day, it rubbed me funky because it was, oh, you know, well, I'm just going to carry my gun and I don't care and I'd rather deal with the consequences. And the reality is that friendly police officer is not your teacher. He's not your friend. He's not going to hand you a syllabus called State by State Firearm 101. And he's not going to care whether you don't care, whether you care or don't care. The only thing he cares about is you broke the law and we got a jail cell.
Because as an adult, that's your job.
Right.
And you know, 9 times out of 10, you'll never have to show your gun, pull your gun, use your gun.
Right.
It's just knowing you have that security blanket, God forbid. You know, you get in an argument with somebody, it's not for you to say, oh, I got a gun. You should, if you have a gun on your hip, you should know how to de-escalate.
And you should never, ever have to advertise with your mouth. Because if you advertise with your mouth, you better be ready to pull that chuck wagon.
If you can't de-escalate a situation, this de-escalatable.
Yes.
If it's not de-escalatable, then, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yank that yank and get to yanking.
But 9 times out of 10 it is. You get in an argument with somebody, and you can very well calm that person down just by. My grandmother told me, if someone's yelling at you, and you talk low, they're gonna stop yelling to hear what you have to say.
I've tried that with you, and it doesn't work.
Well, that's because you're an asshole. And, hey, I love you, man. But sometimes I gotta raise my voice at you. You know.
We don't yell at each other.
Yeah, but nah, I mean, you know, it's but back to the, you know, back to it. Know your states.
Yeah.
You know, I went on a trip from Maryland to Maine, and Rhode Island you can carry.
Mm-hmm.
Connecticut you cannot.
Right.
Vermont you can carry. Maine you can carry. There was a state I went in between there, and you couldn't carry. So before I got in that state, I pulled into the rest area, I unloaded. Weapon went in the lockbox.
Right.
Ammunition went in the trunk.
And that's all it takes is going across one state line. It goes from being legal to a felony. And all it takes is a tail light out. That's all it takes. Okay. One routine stop. You know, have a conversation with this officer. He figures out that you have a gun. You're in cuffs. The kids are asking if they're still getting s'mores later, because the chances are they're not.
And they're scared.
Right.
And they're scared.
Right.
And you know, most police officers pull me over, never ask me if I have a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
However, if they do, I don't want to lie. You can lie. Don't get caught in that lie.
Yeah. You
know
got to don't get caught in that lie.
I'm gonna say yes, but I damn sure better know what the laws of that state is.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it on my hip or is it in the lockbox? In North Carolina, back in the day, you had to drive with your gun in the case in the windshield.
Whoa.
If a cop pulled you over, that's where your gun had to go. That's where your case had to go. You understand? And it was just it was different things. But if you didn't know that,
you jammed up.
And the cop asked you, you know, do you have a weapon? And you do, and he's like, well, why don't I see it?
Well, here's the other thing too. We've talked about felonies, but it's not just felonies. We're talking about $700 or $800 worth of gun that is now confiscated.
Yep.
We're talking about the fines that go with it, even if you don't end up in the clink long term. Losing your carry permit is possible. The lengthy, costly legal battle, because the only person that wins in that is lawyers.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
If you get a felony, you can't carry anymore.
Right.
Now every state you go in, it's a chance you gonna go to jail because you stupid.
Right.
And you say, I'm gonna carry anyway because Second Amendment right. No, that shit ain't no Second Amendment right in a lot of states.
And so at the end of the day, for somebody to recklessly come out and say what they said in a mass media audience, people are ignorant, people are dumb, they don't read. And I'm not trying to say that this is any of you, because all of my listeners are very smart, intelligent people. But to put this information out there without correcting it is reckless on our behalf. So that's the reason, that we're doing this. And quick side note, y'all been hearing us read about the Facebook warriors. And we've been talking about the Facebook warriors. The ones that end up in these camping groups blowing up their feed. I got 2 Glocks and a shotgun in the back type folks. I ain't scared of nothing. Big talk, loud comments, and chest out doing campsite selfies. The one thing that is worse than having your gun in a state that you're not supposed to is the one son of a gun that don't know how to shut the heck up.
Well, yeah. I went on a road trip to go get my motorcycle.
Yeah.
From Houston.
Okay.
And I had cash to pay this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because some people want cash.
They want cash, right?
And I had guns. Mm-hmm. I have cash and guns. On the way back, I had a little bit of cash, guns, and a custom motorcycle in the back of my 28-foot trailer.
Right.
I'm attracting your attention.
Yes.
And if a cop pulls me over, and I'm sitting there bragging about some dumb shit,
And keep in mind, in some states, whether they ask or not,
You have
to
know.
declare.
You have to let them know.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody ever knows I have a gun on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a weapon. This is my weapon. This is my gun. For all my military people.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's shut up. You don't have to let everybody know what you have. Now, if we're sitting around the campfire comparing guns, and by all means, let's do it.
Yeah.
But everybody doesn't have to know, because you got to understand, some people aren't safe around guns.
Right.
And they don't want to hear what you have in the back.
And the reality is, you don't have to be, you know, the Facebook, I'm sorry, John Wick. Like, nobody cares at the end of the day.
I don't care what you have.
Yeah, you know, that same bravado don't look so big when you sitting in a cop car waiting to become a headline. Like, that ain't cool.
Because you're stupid.
Dumb, stupid, ignorant. I mean, we can go down the list, you know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is it worth risking it all on Facebook to look like you something that in reality, you ain't?
Well, some people on Facebook are idiots. And some people got bullied in school.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's the bullies that, you know, used to get smacked in the face and, you know, got their sneakers stolen and had to walk home barefoot. Now they have a gun in there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I big man. I have gun. But, you know, most people, they have it. They're quiet about it. But no matter how quiet you are, no matter how reserved or respectful you are, you have to know the law.
But you know what? Speaking of law, you know what's more interesting about all of this? And this is why I ended up taking the post down. That Facebook post is evidence.
Oh, yeah.
Why you don't get a man evidence to lock you up?
Well, my thing is, you bragging about it and then you shoot somebody and they're like, well, it seems like you want to shoot somebody since you letting everybody know you had guns.
Yeah.
Well, what were you inviting?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like karate. You know, any type of martial arts. You don't walk around bragging what you know. That's not what you were trained to do. If you need it, you use it. But everyone doesn't have to know that you know it.
And then here's the other thing too. There are also non-lethal options that you're more than welcome to talk about. But for somebody who is not necessarily safe around or feels safe around having a lethal firearm, bear spray, loud air horns, motion lights, a dog that'll actually bark, all of those are great alternatives as well. It'll at least buy you time to figure out where your beer bottle is so you can break in and stab it in somebody's neck. I mean, I'm not trying to say go do that, but
it's fairly violent.
Well,
That's fairly violent.
Well, so is busting a cap in somebody. But I mean, I'm just saying, you know, at least. Okay, maybe it is. I'm sorry.
So you
maybe not break a beer bottle and stick it in somebody's neck. Okay.
You gotta be a hell of a guy to do that.
Okay, that'll be the YouTube John Wick. Oh, great.
It's close combat.
That's what it's called. You know, pro tip though, put a security camera up and smart lights on the side of your unit. I mean, motion sensors are cheap these days. They startle the heck out of somebody. Half the time, you don't have to bring out your gun, no way. That's all.
Listen,
you know.
You get a good Mossberg and you cock that thing back. Whoever's around there,
clack.
If they're smart, they're not going to be there for long.
Yeah. Soon as a crookhead is that, clack. Oh, that's all she wrote.
They, you know, no, most people aren't stupid enough to say, I don't care. Even if they have their own gun.
Yeah.
You know, so
they're not going to try to battle a shotgun.
You know, and at the end of the day, you have to be smart. You have to be smart about what you carry. You have to be smart about where you carry. Be smart about why you carry.
Yeah.
And you know, and know these state laws, because nobody wants to lose their mother, their brother, their uncle, their sister, their cousin to jail in a state that automatically jails you because you have a gun. Some of these states don't want you to have a gun, and they'll allow it after the Supreme Court passed. You know, you don't need a reason to carry a gun, but they make you jump through hoops.
Yeah.
So don't think you're gonna come out of Florida, you know, or Texas, where you go, you know, and people walking around with their 6-shooters, you know, and you're gonna come into a northern state and just brandish your weapon, because that's not gonna happen.
And listen, so everybody knows this, legal disclosure, like, we ain't giving legal advice. If you want that, go see a lawyer. But here's a practical playbook, right? I jotted this down. I was on my way over here. check your reciprocity maps?
Please.
What's the app that you use?
So I use an app. It's called USCCA.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I like about it is once you get this app, it's about $50 a month.
Yeah, I'll put that in the description.
And when you go into a state that where the laws change and you're not allowed to carry, it'll ding and say, hey, pull over and check the laws in this state.
Right.
It also if you shoot someone, the police are gonna come. You ask them to call an ambulance, and because maybe you're in shock, you go in the ambulance and they take your vitals and you call USCCA. By the time you get out of that ambulance, there's a lawyer there for you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And then now you don't have to speak because you might be stupid and you don't want to say anything dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
3, maybe 4. They give you $2 million worth of legal coverage for a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, and 5, maybe 6. If your child, just happened, if someone comes into the house and your 15-year-old is home, who does not have a gun registered to him or her, and
But
they
you were
shoot
smart
and
enough to teach them.
and they shoot someone, USCCA covers them. Now, don't shoot them on the porch.
Right. Make sure they're in the house.
Make sure they're in the house and their life is threatened. But it covers them. USCCA is something good to have. Download the app, read into it, and it tells you.
Yeah.
State reciprocities.
Mm-hmm.
You click on the state, it'll tell you those laws.
Yeah.
So it's worth its weight in gold.
And for God's sake, understand your transport laws, people. Lock case, unloaded if necessary, ammo in separate location. As Rob said, that's fairly common. That's a safe baseline when traveling in the unknown.
Yes.
Just that. Plan your route. So avoid routes that will take you through strict states if you're not willing to follow their rules. I mean, it's just very simple. Yeah, if you don't want to come through Maryland, but you're good in Pennsylvania, consider swinging out of Virginia, coming up through West Virginia, and coming into Pennsylvania that way, where if you do have to come into Maryland, it's for a short spot. And then you're in, Republican country, USA, where 99% of the time you'll be okay anyway.
And this is very true.
Very true. Yeah. Don't come through central Maryland.
A lot of the states you can't carry in are Democratic states.
Yeah.
We're not going to get political.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is. Don't be John Wayne.
Yeah, please don't.
Don't just say, oh, it's my gun and I can carry it wherever I want, because that is not true.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see any of y'all locked up for nonsense.
Yeah.
Because jail is no fun.
Well,
don't ask me how I know.
Yeah. And non-lethal options, man, consider them. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I don't want to shoot anybody.
Yeah, and also teach your children how to use that weapon you have.
Yeah.
You could bring an 8-year-old as long as they're not hard-headed and gonna sit there and run around and shoot people, take them to the range. Let them know how to load it. Let them know how to cock it back. Let them know how to fire it.
Ruger 1022 all day. Teach them.
You don't want your kid to find a gun, who the hell knows, anywhere.
Right.
In a dumpster, playing outside. Some of y'all are from some rough neighborhood, and you don't even have to be from a rough neighborhood to find some craziness.
Yeah.
A BB gun.
Yeah.
You understand?
Can be mistaken.
And they face it towards their face and say, ooh, because you taught them
right
gun safety.
Exactly.
So they either leave it there or they bring it back to you, muzzle down and hand it to you and say, Mom, Dad, this is what I found.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
Because now they're not in awe. Oh, it's a gun. Oh, let me look at it. It's a bad idea.
And lastly, in this playbook, Robin, I think we hit on it, but I'm just going to say it one more time. Keep your damn mouth closed. Don't post your loadout before your trip. Don't do that. That's just giving evidence to our crafty prosecutor that's going to jam you up. Keep your mouth shut. I don't know how else to say that.
And also know the towns you're going through.
Yeah.
There's some places that just know where you're going.
And lastly, here's one other thing. Let me just say this, and I think you'll agree with me. If you are stopped or your gun is somewhere, do yourself a favor. Don't go reaching in your glove box without telling the officer what you're doing. Okay? Communicate that, very calm voice. De-escalation. Rob talked about it, I don't know how many times. De-escalation steps can keep a routine traffic stop from being a bad stop any particular day. And knowledge is your friend. Preparation keeps you free, man. That's just what it is.
Well, police officers appreciate, the fact that you're telling them, if they want to know that you have a weapon. It makes them feel safe.
Yep.
It keeps you safe.
Yeah.
And like Keon said, don't make any sudden moves. If you have to, if the cop is on edge, tell him to go in and grab it out of the holster.
Offer to allow him to search you outside of the car. And if it's safety for him, or, if he's worried, let me sit in the back of your car.
Now, if you got something illegal in there, put it in the drive, hit the gas. Because you're going to jail any fucking way.
Listen here. Listen.
If you got some shit in the trunk, then take off.
Family, we want to hear your stories. Drop your comments there. Tell us if you've ever had a stop while traveling with a gun, or do you always leave it at home?
And how did you handle it?
Exactly. Yeah, we want to know about that. Share the wildest campsite flex you see online, anonymously, of course. You don't have to tell us who. And if you got tips that actually helped you avoid trouble, drop those too. We'd like to hear about them. Yeah. And we might even just read some of the best or the dumbest ones on the next episode.
And listen, if you're a lawyer and you know gun laws, please comment. Say, give people advice.
Yeah.
Because some people don't know, and maybe someone has to read it here. Maybe they don't know how to use Google.
Yeah.
But they can sit here and read the comments. Who knows?
Yeah, and just remember.
If you use YouTube, you should be able to use Google.
Yeah. Protection isn't just about keeping someone from hurting you. It's also about making sure that you stay safe and make sure you're there for your kids next week.
Amen.
And next year.
Amen.
Don't let a weekend trip because you were dumb ruin everything. So if you like this one, definitely hit that follow button. Share it with somebody who's planning a road trip. And for the love of the smoky campfires and all of that good stuff, keep the social media bragging to a minimum. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Stay safe, stay smart, and enjoy that open road. If your head is in the game, not your ego on your feed, that's how you want to be. I am Krazy Keon. This is my main man, my main apple scrapple, big brother Rob.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. Until next time, this was Hangin with the Hazes. We'll see you when we see you.